Have you ever wondered what it's like to be dyslexic? Or perhaps you are dyslexic and wonder what it's like for others when they're at work as well. A group of occupational therapists with dyslexia were interviewed in order to find out the impact of their dyslexia when they're at work, and these are the results. 6 themes were identified, and they are as follows: coping strategies, symptoms experienced at work, strengths, attitudes of others, thoughts and feelings about dyslexia, and assistive technology. The first theme is symptoms experienced at work. This was best described using the analogy of a swan. One lady said being dyslexic is like a swan that looks on the surface like it's gliding along, but underneath it's paddling awfully hard, much harder than you'd realise, to keep up. Difficulty with reading was something that some of the participants shared, but some said they didn't have a problem with. Struggling with reading may be a small part of the bigger picture. Most of the participants agreed that finding organisation and sequencing of tasks was a difficulty. Being easily distracted was also a common issue. They all reported that concentration was a difficulty, and today's emphasis on open plan offices and hot desking multiplied their difficulty. They struggled to find a quiet space, which affected their ability to work successfully. There was also a feeling that their strengths weren't recognised, and they were keen to point out that dyslexics do have lots of strengths that are sometimes overlooked because of the difficulties they also have. The second theme is dyslexic strengths. One strength they felt they had was being able to understand the bigger picture and concepts. Another strength some of them felt they had was being very visual and being able to see things in 3D in their mind's eye. Another strength was that they felt because of the combinations of strength and difficulties, they were then able to offer solutions to others. The third theme is the attitudes of others that they worked with. Some participants were worried about telling people they had dyslexia. Therefore, they only told people they thought were going to be helpful. Reactions from colleagues to the dyslexia was mixed. Some were really helpful, some went very negative, and some people just simply don't understand what dyslexia is and the impact it has. One participant said, people still don't understand that dyslexia doesn't mean that you're thick. Another said, I think if you haven't got it, it's very difficult to understand. The fourth theme was their own feelings and thoughts about dyslexia. They reported being very conscious of how others viewed them and their dyslexia, and as they felt it was largely misunderstood, they felt it was their own responsibility to take ownership and solve their own problems. One person said, I always took ownership of the areas I thought dyslexia interrupted, and so I tried to be as thorough with that as possible. The fifth theme is how they used assistive technology. A variety of technology was tried, such as dictaphones, smartphones, and text-to-speech. However, the ones they found the most useful were standard technology, such as using a computer but perhaps in a different way, such as changing the font and colour of the background. Smartphones were found to be useful for calendars, reminders, and making lists, and Google was useful as a spell checker. The sixth theme is how they used coping strategies to help them at work. The most popular were using a to-do list, having somewhere quiet to work, learning visually, writing things down instead of trying to remember them, and being free to ask for help when needed. This is a Dyslexia Mountains production and is based on a dissertation done as part of a master's at Coventry University. For more details on the course and the dissertation, see the links below.